everybody, and welcome to the Eternal X Wolfpack Paranormal Podcast. I am your host, Sean Ellis, and tonight we have a great team sitting in the backstage right now. The Glick Paranormal Society. We'll be meeting them for the first time tonight, and I hope everybody had a great weekend so far. It kind of got nippy toward the end of the day. Wanted that warm weather to stay, but it didn't seem like it wanted to. So hopefully we don't get no snow tonight because I definitely don't want it. So let's introduce our guests tonight, the Glick Paranormal Society, and we'll start off with Nick and Betty, and then we have Nara. How you guys doing?
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
So you guys are out of Ohio?
Yep.
What part of Ohio are you guys out of?
Me and Betty, we are on the northeast, about like 45 minutes east of Columbus. We're in Heath, Ohio. It's in Lincoln County.
Yeah.
Nice little area, quiet.
You said
dog-friendly area. Everyone owns dogs up here.
You said Licking
Including
County?
us, of course.
Is that what you said? Licking
Yeah,
County?
Lincoln County. It's like lick. Yeah,
It
literally is licking.
Yeah, it is.
Literally licking.
Wow.
And then our town, everybody asks if because the town that we live in is in Heath. So everybody's all like, is that where Heath Bar is manufactured at? And I'm like, no, unfortunately, Heath Candy Bar is not manufactured in this town.
Oh. Nara, are you guys close by? Are you in the same?
Well, I'm 45 minutes away. I'm right in the north side of Columbus.
Awesome. So, where did you get the name Glick Paranormal? How did you come up with that?
It's his
That was
last
all
name.
him.
Nick
It's
Glick.
my last name.
I
It's
was gonna
my
say, I
last
hope
name, and yeah, the Glick Paranormal Society. Like, I'm really adamant on the whole the Glick because with the acronym of our name, it's the GPS, and there's a few other groups out there with that same acronym, but GPS, there's one out there with the periods in between the GPS, and then there's one with just GPS. And I was just all like, I don't want to be like that, so I've got to be like the Glick Paranormal. So then with the acronym the GPS. So like I've always wanted, like I kind of like messed around with the names and whatnot because I like acronyms for whatever reason. Acronyms are like one of my favorite things. And so like, okay, I want my last name in this group. So like I've been in talks of having this group made for about 2 years before it actually came about in 2022. Then I turned around. I was on a former team, the North Paranormal Society, and I was all like, okay, I like the paranormal and I like society. And then I turned around. I was all like, the Glick Paranormal Society, the GPS. I like that. That's pretty cool. It's a good catch. It's a nice, it rolls off the tongue pretty good. So I was all like, I like that. So definitely the Glick Paranormal Society comes from basically a family name, and I'm hoping our 5-year-old will take over the group. Not in the near future, but
Way future.
Come on, you can have some little bit of fun going out. I know some the families that take out their young ones once in a while and go out hunting.
That is our whole plan. We have I have my niece, the one who made me, or well, I wouldn't say the one that made me the uncle, but my first niece out of the whole nieces and nephews that I have, she was actually going to be part of the group, but being the young, well, now she's a young adult, but being a teenager, she's hanging out with her friends and
she has her own life.
Yeah, basically her own life. And I was just all like, you're all talk, no action, no talk, go away. But yeah, our little one, she loves watching paranormal shows with us. She gets infatuated with it. like a couple of times. She'll catch something before I even do. And my OCD, I like catch things before anybody else does. And like she'll be all like, "Dad, did you see that?" And I'm all like, "What?" "Rewind it." So I'm like, "Okay." So I rewind the show. I'm like, "Oh, nice catch. Good job."
That's cool. That's cool. My
Picking up
daughters just
our child.
yeah, me and my daughters used to watch Ghost Hunters all the time when they were younger, and but we were doing it just to understand some of the things, so they'd understand that spirits are actually real. That's why we were watching it, because there's a difference between Hollywood and real. So we
Yeah.
do know that.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Moose's
Yeah.
flashlight around the neck, huh? Oh, flashing light around neck. Got it.
Oh,
Miss-
I definitely
So-
wouldn't put it past me that I do have some flashing lights around me because, believe it or not, both Betty and our mothers have passed away while back. Hers was more recent, about we got
About-
together in 2014, so it was about 2014 when your mom passed
Yeah,
away.
about 14.
My mother had
Later.
passed away in 2011, and believe it or not, we actually have our mothers are around because our daughter has never seen pictures of her grandmother, and I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. We have pictures of our mother on a wall, and I had my daughter, and I was holding my daughter, and we were walking down the hallway, and she sees the pictures of my mother and her mother, and she just was all like, "There's grandma," and I dead in my track. I was like, "What?" She's like, "That's my grandma's." I'm all like, "Okay." So I pointed to my mom. I was like, "Whose is this?" She's like, "That's your mom." And then I pointed to her mom. I was like, "Who's this?" "That's mom's mom." I'm all like, "Okay."
How does she know that?
Right. So I turned
Kinda
around and I
weird.
asked her, because my mom's got this little thing that I know it was her. I turned around and I asked my daughter, I was all like, "By any chance, does my mom, when she gives you a kiss, does she give you a doggy kiss?" Basically, what a doggy kiss, she turns around and grabs our face. It just licks the side of our mouth, our face, like a dog. And she goes,
Yeah.
"Yeah, grandma likes giving me doggy kisses," and I keep telling her to stop. And I was just all like, "Yeah, that's yeah, your grandmothers are here. They're watching you and everything else." And I was just all like, "Yeah." So yeah, I definitely wouldn't put it past it.
Oh,
Our mothers are here and whatnot. So our
I
daughter's
could.
out screaming.
I definitely have a story to tell you. I said
Out of the shower.
I definitely have a story to tell you about my two daughters in a similar situation like that, because there's 3 years and 4 days apart, and same type of deal, just 3 years apart happened. So I'll have to tell you a little bit, maybe after the show, I'll tell you about it. But it was kind of the same thing for sure. Dark purple is around Betty. Huh. Interesting. Well, Nick, let's start off with you. How did you get into the paranormal?
Oh, I was very young when I had my actual first encounter with the paranormal. I'd say I was probably roughly between the ages of 8 and 12. The apartment that I was living in with my mother and my brother at the time, my brother's a big prankster. So like me and my brother are 1 year, 1 week, and 1 day apart. And, he's a year, 1 week, 1 day older than me. So like he's a prankster. He likes to mess around with the young kids around with us. And so one night I was just listening and reading along to Sleepy Hollow. And next thing I know, my bunk bed starts shaking. And I'm all like, okay, it's my brother, messing around. Now, mind you, back in the day, bunk beds were complete solid oak. It takes like 4 people to move it.
Mhm.
But anyway, so like my bunk bed starts shaking. I'm like, okay, it's my brother messing around with it. And then like starts shaking violently. Like I was like, it shook so hard that my mom even heard the noise from downstairs in the living room. I jumped off that top bunk, flew down the stairs. Like I don't even think I touched any steps going down the stairs. And it was just really, really creepy and whatnot. Come to find out, the previous tenant that had lived there was an older gentleman, and apparently he had committed suicide right in that room. And he was basically just a bad soul, bad spirit and whatnot. It was just whatever was wrong with him, and that was that made him just take his life for whatever reason it was, and it just went with him. But it just seems like he took it out on me for whatever reason. But that was my first experience, and ever since then, I've been in tuned with it. I'm a very strong empath, so like I can sense, like I could go into a room and read it like a book. Just just very in tune with my surroundings. I'm an empath, and like it was just a very, very interesting start into my paranormal that I was just all like, okay, we doing this. But
Cool.
yeah,
Nara,
that's how I got into the whole paranormal.
cool. Nara, what about you? How did you get into the paranormal field?
Um, so when I was
Betty's
young,
actually taking care of our little one, so we can. Hmm.
I'll come back.
so my
Yeah.
when I was young, I used to have dreams and then they would come true. And I had ridden my bicycle to our friend's house, and my older sister had ridden her bike, and my younger sister was already there. And so it was time to come home. And so my older sister, who always had to win, decided that she was going to ride my younger sister on the bike around the circle. And I decided, well, I didn't have a choice. I got to ride down the really steep hill, and I kept having dreams for probably a week or two before it happened. And I kept dreaming that my sisters kept fighting over who got to bring me ice and who got to watch me bleed so I wouldn't leave my house. So I was probably about 6 or 7, and ends up I just crashed, and I hit the gravel, and I ended up having a concussion, spending 3 days at Children's Hospital. And so they fought over who got to bring me ice because my whole face was, and who got to watch me bleed. So after that, whenever I had dreams, I always listened to them. And I had a lot of reoccurring nightmares in high school. I don't know if they were nightmares, but anyway, I always knew when something bad was going to happen. So that's how, yeah.
Interesting. I've come across lines where I've had deja vu kind of like that as well. And especially seeing the visions when I was getting baptized the second time, that actually kind of scared me away from the religion at the time. And the more I was with the church at the time, the stronger I got with seeing those visions. And it just kind of scared me at the time. And then I just kind of faded away from things until about, I'd say about 6 years ago, I finally said, I'm going full bore into this and using my gifts for what they are. And I'm not going to hold back anymore. So that's how part of it, how I got into it, besides a dream that I had when my grandma passed away, and she visited me in a church, and she looked like she was the age she got married, young. She wasn't on a walker. She didn't use her glasses, and she had a pennant with all the birthstones of the grandkids in it. And she come walking into the church and sat down right next to me and says, "Don't you ever worry about a thing. You're going to make it." So that's one thing that always sticks in the back of my head when it comes to that, because that's probably what really started me into the paranormal to begin with back when I was 21. So Sean, she's gray. Weird. Huh. She's got different colors for sure. I definitely agree. He's kind of reading your aura. Moose is good at that. He likes reading auras and seeing what's around.
What is gray?
Aura. Yeah.
He was saying, he said your aura was kind of gray, which to me, gray is kind of clear. That's multi-purpose. So you can do a lot of things with a gray aura, or a clear aura, I should say. But yeah, Moose likes to get on.
What was Betty's for with her being a dark purple?
Cool. That is definitely interesting. What is the strangest thing you guys have come across being in the paranormal field? Go ahead, Nora.
I want to tell about what happened when we went to the Bel Air house. We can name where we went, right?
You mean Bel Air house or the Bell Mansion?
The Bel Air house.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Mm-hmm. Our first house. Yeah, that was our first paranormal investigation. As a group together. That was pretty good. That was our first one.
So when we went to bed,
honestly, I don't think I had any strange events or anything that happened to me with paranormal, honestly. Nara, are you talking about my SLS camera?
no. When we went upstairs, was it the Bel Air house? No, it was at the Blair house, right? The Ross house. I'm sorry. When we stayed in the chinchilla room.
Yeah, the Ross house. Yeah, chinchilla.
That was at the Ross house. Room. I apologize. And so we stayed in the chinchilla room.
In the bedroom.
And I don't know why we did that. And I guess it's because it had two single beds. So myself and Samantha were in one bed and Nick and Betty were in the other. And we shared each of, had the beds. And for the first, hour or so, we were facing the wall. And all of a sudden, with my back to the EMF readers, the whole room was like a disco. It was the wildest thing. And I'm opening my eyes and I finally was able to turn and I was like, Nick, Betty, Sam, nobody was responding. And finally, Betty sat up and she's like, oh yeah, I see it, even with my eyes closed. And she laid back down.
Yeah.
I was finally able to switch Samantha and turn Samantha so that she was facing Betty and Nick's bed. And I was behind her. And it was like I was frozen. And there was a female walking behind me. It wasn't scary, but it wouldn't stop. And she was just pacing and you could hear her steps. And then she would walk back and then she'd walk forward again and she'd walk back and the EMF was going off. And I think I laid there for probably about an hour and a half. And when I woke up, I just went right downstairs and sat outside on the front patio and just went to sleep because I couldn't rouse anyone. It was like everybody was completely knocked out. And I was the only one that was like, this is crazy. And I literally locked myself out and slept on the front. I didn't mean to lock myself out, but I was out on the front patio porch for quite a few hours. It was odd, but it didn't feel like it was that long. So it was not a bad place to be, but it was definitely,
it was just very interesting.
Yeah, it was a lot. It's good, but it was a lot.
Yeah, it was very welcoming. But yeah, I would say that would be a strange experience that we've had as a group, and that would probably be like the only thing I've had as a strange experience myself. Is the fact that those two had experienced the exact same thing, whereas me and Sam were just kind of like clunked out. Like once I'm asleep, and I'm hard of hearing. So when I take my hearing aids out and I sleep on my right side, I don't hear nothing. But like these are like twin size bed, and honestly, believe it or not, I did have an experience in that same room too, and uh, I literally like my wife likes to cover her head up sometimes, especially like when she's spooked and whatnot. She had turned around and I turned around and I told her, I was all like, when we woke up the next day and whatnot, and I was all like, why did you cover my head? And she's all like, I didn't cover your head. I covered my head. And I'm like, no, you covered my head too. She's like, no, I didn't cover your head. I was all like, are you sure? She's like, yeah. And I'm all like, that's weird because my head was covered. My head got covered and I literally had to jerk it off of my head. Like, don't ever cover my head. And she's all like, no, I didn't. I covered my head to cover your head. And I'm just like, that's really weird. Like, why did
Moose
why
just
are-
said something about an axe house.
who or what
Nick, did you
covered
read
my
that?
head for? Like, you didn't want me to
Is
see
it the
or
axe
something?
house?
Yeah, we have an axe house here down in Chillicothe, Illinois, where we're at, and we've had some pretty
That is
strange
actually on our
encounters
list.
there because the house itself would sit on a pentagram, and then if you go on the other pentagram, the corner of the other pentagrams, there was a house, and in the center there's a black church. The black church actually sunk, and then some of the other houses around on the pentagram actually sunk as well. We've had some strange encounters at the axe house where former team members of mine actually had attachments that I had to get rid of for them. And a lot of other strange things happen from there as well. But they've got deer cameras up now, so you can't get to that location anymore. But I think it was Indian Joe, I think would take some of his hookers out there and bury them as well on the property if they didn't perform the way he wanted them to.
Wow. So is that house of a serial killer or just?
Well, actually, the whole house was, how do I say, it was kind of like a cult deal. They would have children within their own family, and then at a certain point in time, they would end up drowning them in the tub.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was pretty horrendous where that was at the axe house. But yeah. Hello, David Solder. And then Moose Fan said poltergeist there. Yeah, there was some pretty strange activity there. Moose also mentioned, he said, loved, not that one. Hang on. Got the wrong one. He said, Sean, bring him here. He's actually got a huge house that we've actually investigated in London Mills, Illinois. And he said you guys could come and check that out if you want to, for sure. We've taken some strange things out of his house as well. And it's huge. So, but yeah, but that's our version of the axe house where we were at. And like I said, a couple members got attachments from there, and I ended up taking them away. And one of them, me and the Reiki master, actually took it away from when she was there as well. I got some pictures on my hard drive, but I got my camera plugged in now, so I can't pull up the picture for it right now. But I can send it to you later what we did. But yeah, that's definitely interesting. Then he calls it the Voorhees Haunted
Mansion. I have never heard of that one.
That's Moose's house. That's in London.
Oh, the Voorhees. Yep. That's great.
I have never heard of that one.
Yep, it's in London Mills,
Illinois.
Illinois.
Voorhees, Friday the 13th.
No, he said it's Moose's house.
Yeah, Moose. Yeah. It's Moose's house. Betty.
Nice.
How did you get into the paranormal field? That's fine. How did you get
paranormal?
Let's see. Well, I've seen a few ghosts in my life. Well, I was pregnant in the time I was teenage pregnancy, and I was living at home with mom, and I was laying in bed and I seen a ghost, like I don't even know, it scared me. It was, I was laying in bed, you know how you're halfway asleep, halfway awake, that kind of thing. I felt like someone was looking at me, and I looked up, and all I see is like this dark, like shadow. Couldn't make out the face, nothing like that. It was just a real dark, shattering like shadow. And I don't know. I closed my eyes, like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and I felt like the cold breeze like blow my hair back. It was just scared the crap out of me. And I opened my eyes, and it was gone, and I ran to the living room. It's crazy. And then there was her at my mom. It's just a lot of stuff happened at my mom's house that we couldn't explain. There's time I was sitting in a room talking to my mom and my sister, and we were in my mom's room, and I seen like it looked like my brother, which is odd, but it sounded like someone came in. I was like, who's here? Who came in? And then it's like a shadow came and lunged over to the corner of the door to look in. I'm like, yeah, that's David. Because I seen blonde hair, and it was a guy, and thinking it was my brother.
Mhm.
And I went in there, and no one was there. I said, you guys didn't see him? And, no, we wasn't paying attention or anything. I'm like, yeah.
Cool. Definitely interesting.
It was
for sure.
weird. So I've actually experienced that stuff before. Like even here, I had some stuff I had videotaped.
Oh
on
yeah,
Facebook.
that is a strange one that we had.
Yeah.
I was at work. Tell that story. That is one of our
Yeah,
good
I got it on
stories.
Facebook. It was like a month. I think it was a month of us moving in here. Our daughter, she was on oxygen. She had an oxygen machine.
She had sleep obstructive apnea, so she had to be on oxygen prior to moving here. But yeah, so she had a oxygen tank
That she would have on while she slept.
Poxma meter, oxygen meter. She was here when that all happened. I was at work.
I had it on Facebook. It went off. The machine shouldn't have been off because we stopped using it, but we still had the equipment. We had we had the company come pick up their stuff, and it took, God, forever for them to come get it, and they were charging us still. And so the machine wasn't hooked up or anything, and all of a sudden it was like I didn't know where the noise was coming from. Like I said, it's been a while since I've heard that noise, and I taped it on Facebook. I'm like, I don't know what that noise is, but I'm going to go investigate. I can, I'm an adult. I'm not a child. I can go downstairs and find out, if someone attacks me, I'll have it on Facebook, So I went downstairs, I just followed the sound. We have a basement. We went down in the basement where the storage area is. And I pulled it out. That was the internet. I'm like, why is this internet? I'm like, no, that's not it. And then because I kept hearing it, and I'm like, it has to be in here in the storage thing. And I found it. I was in a box or whatever. Found it.
Mhm.
It went on. I videotaped it on Facebook. You have to go deep in Facebook. It's somewhere like in the past, but yeah, it was going off, and there was no battery or anything, and it hasn't been charged. All of a sudden, it just started going off, and I couldn't shut it off.
No, it wasn't even a battery. It was the only thing that
I don't even
would
know
have
how.
power to it is by plugging it in.
Yeah, that's what I
And
said. There's nothing.
there was no power to it. And she showed me the recording of it. And I'm just all like, what the heck?
And that was like 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I was mad because I was like, man, this stupid thing wants to go off at night. He's working third shift, so I'm the only person here with the dogs, I'm like, I'm scared to death. I don't understand why this machine's going off. I got to get up early in the morning and go to work. And, God. But yeah, I had it all on Facebook because I wanted, in case something were to happen, I wanted people to know what happened to me.
For sure.
Murder by ghost.
Yeah.
That's one of the things.
There was
That's
another
why.
incident that we had with Beauty. in the
yeah.
kitchen, which that was.
You're
I was
letting
at
her-
work too.
Yeah, you're at home.
Everything happens when I'm at work. She gets
But I taped it on Facebook.
that.
So I always
both
have proof.
of them.
I always have proof what's going on. When
Yeah.
stuff happens, I take proof. You know, I'm always like, Facebook, let's Facebook this live. I want to have proof that this stuff is going down right now. And I'm the only person here. So Beauty went, you know, she acted like she was whining and she didn't want to go in the living room. I'm like, why won't you go in the living room? Because our kitchen, you know, is our back door. So it wouldn't leave, and it's like she wouldn't go in the living room. She wouldn't leave the kitchen, like by the doorway. And I don't. And I was like, she's never done that before. Why are you scared? Come on, get it. And she just kept whining like she wanted to come in the living room. I'm like, you can walk in the living room. You know, this is a pit bull. I'm like, you can walk in the living room. What is wrong? What is going on? So I don't know. I have no clue what it was, but I eventually just took, you know, had her leash and pulled her into the living room. So I don't know what that was. I have no clue because I thought she wanted to go out, try to let her out. She didn't want to show. All she did was sit in the porch. I'm like, what is wrong with this dog? But yeah, that happened. Then there was the ceiling fan, and it was wintertime. And I know
I was here when that happened.
I know I didn't turn that fan on, and it was turning.
I was
by
here when
itself.
that happened because I was all like,
And
why is the
I'm
fan
like-
going?
I have no clue because it hasn't been on. Why would it turn? I don't know.
It was just like, it literally looked like somebody just took a finger
But
and
yeah,
just.
all that stuff, makes me believe. Since I
That's-
experienced that. Now, maybe if I never experienced something like that, maybe I wouldn't be into it so much. But I have.
That's one thing when I actually do investigations and I go live. What you see is what you get. I mean, you see it when it happens.
Mhm.
And I never go back.
Exactly.
And I never go back and cut it and edit anything. So, I mean, if
Yeah.
people's got questions, they can answer them right there. If they've seen something that I didn't see, holler it out, and we'll debunk it right
Right.
there. Debunk it, but
Exactly.
ran into a lot of strange things so far, and it's been an amazing some of the stuff that I've ran into, for sure.
Mhm.
Now, Nick, you mentioned a little earlier you have an ability of an empath. Is there any other
Yes.
things that you do as well?
I've actually, I did have, when I was younger, like Nora said, deja vu, mine was like, premonition. I had a little bit, momentarily of that. I, had my third eye open, but like
Hello,
when my
Kristen.
mother had passed away, I kind of like, shut it down because with my mother passing away, it was kind of like a dramatic thing.
Mhm.
But here lately, I've been trying to get in touch with my third eye, so to speak. Trying to get myself to get meditated and everything else. And just try to get myself back open again. But so like I've had 2 incidents with my premonition when I was younger. Like the one, my first time experiencing it was my grandfather was basically on his deathbed. And so he was dying of a congestive heart failure. And we went, me, my mom, and my stepdad at the time, my cousin, my brother, we all, went to see him one last time, because he was at home. He didn't want to be in a hospice or in a hospital. He wanted to be at home with his wife. And I just it was really weird because on our way home after visiting him, I take a nap and I just randomly wake up and say, Grandpa's going to pass away in his sleep. And then I go right back to sleep as if nothing. And then about a week later, my mom gets a call from her twin brother saying that, Grandpa, their dad, Grandpa had passed away. And I looked at her. I was all like, did he go in his sleep? And she just looked at me and was all like, yeah, he went in his sleep like you said he was going to. So I was all like, yeah, I knew he was going to go into sleep because, premonition.
Mhm.
So my second premonition that I had was a few years later. My mom had a green iguana. Nice. He's like probably about a good about 7 feet tall. 7 feet and 7 inch. He's a good size iguana, and we would let him go outside. When we would go outside during the summer in a nice weather, we'd go outside and give me one.
Lost the mic there, bud.
Um, so so we let her when we would sit out on the porch. We'd bring him outside because we had like bushes and whatnot that he can just chill on there. And my mom was out there and she let him out there and she like kind of forgot about him. And she's all like, oh my God, I forgot I can't remember what his name was, but she was like, oh my God, I forgot he was out there. So I go out there and I can't find him. I'm like, Mom, he is gone. Like, he's gone. But I kept having this recurring daydream or whatever you want to call it that he's going to come back. But the way that I had it in my head of how he was going to be returned was that somebody had found him, put him in a box, and knew that he belonged to us, put him in a box, and put him on our porch. Well, that's not exactly how it happened. What had happened was that our neighbor next door had come over, knocked on our door, and was all like, hey, your iguana's in our bush. And I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, yeah, he's in our bush. My mom's asleep. So I go over here and I get him. I'm like, what are you doing all the way over here in our neighbor's bush? So I pick him up and I carry him and I gently put him on my mom's chest. And I was like, Mom, look who's back. She opens her eyes and sees him and she just like, just starts bawling him and hugging him and everything. I'm like, dude, don't kill him. But yeah, those are like the only two premonitions that I've had. But as far as anything else that I do besides my empath, I really don't do anything. Like I usually like when we go into place to investigate, I usually try to get a reading out of it. Like the Frost House, when we went in there, I didn't feel anything. Like I was like, okay, this is very welcoming. Like I like this. The one place that we went to in Indiana was I can't remember what it was called, but it's an old jail count. It was an old county jail sheriff's resident, and like I did not get any type of feel, any type of reading or anything out of that.
I didn't get none.
Like I was just all like, I'm not getting anything out of this. And usually I tend to get stuff out of places that are haunted or have activities and whatnot, but I just was not getting anything. Like I didn't get no I feel you, Christy. I can't do crowds either. But yeah, like I got absolutely nothing out of there. Like the Frost House, I got we got activities here, but it was very welcoming.
Yeah.
The Belair House
scared the crap out of me. Very unwelcoming.
We had quite a few of actions there.
A lot.
But to me, it was kind of like a mixed feeling. Like it wasn't really all that welcome.
Not at all.
But at the same time, it kind of was. It just depended on what you were interacting with, like what spirit was there that you were interacting with. Exactly, Irene. That's exactly what I was going with on that. Depends on your energy and the spirit that wants to communicate with you. But that's how the Blair House was with me. Like I had like mixed readings, and it was like certain areas that I know. I'm like, okay, this one is not this is a no-go. and then like this room be like, okay, this is a go room, I'm good with this one. Then there's a house that Betty and I have gone to that it is on our number. It's our one of our favorites, the Gill House.
Yeah, I love the Gill House.
Which is in Gallagher, Ohio, and that we've always liked going there. And I've always, every time I go there, it's always a very welcoming feeling. Like the spirits there love having guests, so to speak. They like having people over, and they like interacting with us and stuff. Like we get a lot of activities there when we go there. Then we have a in our town we have a
Lincoln County.
Old Lincoln County Jail. It is very, very active, and it is very welcoming. And I have not yet, every time I go there, I have yet to get any kind of bad reading from them, from that being on that building and the property. I've never had any bad vibes from it. Even though it's a jail, you'd think you would get some kind of bad reading from it. But I've never had gotten any kind of bad reading from that jail ever. And I guess that probably was the reasons why I like that jail.
There's like family that lived up too.
Yeah, it was a sheriff's resident as well too.
Yeah.
And like the front of the building was the sheriff's resident, and then obviously like behind the building, the back of the building was the jail cells and stuff like that.
And they grew up kids there and everything. I just couldn't imagine, how they did things back then. Have a family living right next door, so the jail was like they're in the same building. It's just,
Honestly, if it was me, I'd probably be having a ball living in the same building.
I couldn't imagine because you have kids. You got to think of who was in that jail.
Right?
Pedophiles and whatever else.
No, she is my mother, actually, Irene. She's my mother. She passed away 2011. And you'd actually missed a conversation about that at the beginning of our show.
Yeah. Betty, do you have any abilities?
Do I
have any? No. I used to have deja vu when I was younger, but I haven't had that in a while. But no, not.
Does any of you?
Sometimes I have a feeling like sometimes I can feel like there's a spirit, but not like major, and it all depends on where I am. And I can feel like if someone's sad that's near me or whatever, I can tell. I could have, what do you call that?
Empath.
Yeah.
Empathy.
I can always tell like if they're sad or something without even really acknowledging, or even really talking to them. It's just like, oh, that person's going through something,
Yeah, she's really in tune with me on that. With her empath with me, considering that, we've been together for like 12 years, but like she's totally in tune with me. Like she just, the moment I walk into the door, she knows something's wrong, and like she's already forcing me out the door. Like, let's go have fun. I'm just like, no, yes, fine.
Nara, do you have any abilities or gifts?
I have a lot of dreams that generally come pretty true, or they're very symbolic, and you can find where they match. I don't know if it's called an empath or not, but I can just feel what other people feel. And then the other thing that I do is it's almost like I can write, and I have feelings almost like I can interpret what it is they're asking for. I'm not sure why I can do that, but it's not like scripted writing where I don't know what I'm writing. It's like it just kind of comes.
Kind of like ghost writing.
Yeah, but I know what I'm writing. It's like this epiphany, and it's like I have to write this down. This is what this person needed or wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
What kind of equipment do you guys like? Have you guys used Ouija boards? Are you against Ouija boards, or what kind of equipment do you guys use in the field?
I like to use my spirit guide. Um, what is it called? It's the one that does the radio fast, backwards, fast.
Like the SLSs?
Yes, I want to get one of those. I actually
You
got
talking
to
about
use that
the
for the first
board?
time last weekend. That was amazing. But I usually have the spirit talker, I guess is what
Spirit
it's
box.
called.
Spirit
Spirit box. Yeah, I like that, and I also
box.
like um the recorder that does like the whispers. Where you can like hear the background where it doesn't necessarily pick up the stuff in the foreground. That's what I
Right.
like. But Nick has
Like
a
we
really
had
cool
the other
machine.
night.
Yeah.
Estes, whatever.
Oh yeah,
The what?
that's what we used the other night.
What did you use? You skipped out a little bit.
That's what we used. Where was that?
We
There was
were
a
at
last-
the Fairfield County for last
we went
Saturday.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I like that place.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
our
that's
other
San Diego.
favorite.
You said the
This is our
Estes.
daughter.
Is that what you said? The Estes method?
No, he has this.
Yeah,
What is it called?
method
It's
there
the
at
S.
the-
S. What is it, Nick? The S.
Estes
Your
method.
tablet where you can see the
Estes,
like the skeleton.
Yeah, Estes method. You got
Okay.
the SLS camera?
Yes.
The SLS camera. It's fine.
Yes.
She's bringing it
Okay.
up.
All right. Yeah, I've used
Yeah,
one of
it's
those.
the SLS camera.
Yeah, I love that.
That's one of our favorite equipments that we have is the SLS camera.
Is there any?
Yeah, so do I.
Is there any particular thing you guys do before you enter a house or on the property of places that you're going? Anything special for protection?
We had a
We
lady that
have
was part of our
before.
group, and I still
Last
have my
night,
bag.
but we have
Mhm.
before.
Yep.
Usually, if places that we've never been to, like especially me and Betty, we've never been there.
You're skipping out, Nick. I didn't quite hear what you said, bud. I didn't quite hear what you said, Nick. A second.
Usually with Betty and I, Miracle, excuse me, you need to go. You need
She's
to be
fine.
quiet. With Betty and I, when we places that we've already been to, we usually don't do like any protection or anything like that. But like places that we've never been to, Betty's really more religious than I am, but I'm more in tune. The Wiccan, like I'm more like a Viking Wiccan. So like I kind of like just rely on Mother Nature and to be my guidance and my protector, as well as I usually wear silver because for whatever reason, silver, and believe it or not, Irene, obsidian is one of my favorite crystals. But yeah, I usually do something like that. And like we had a former team member who was
Chrissy.
In tune with her, her witchcraft and stuff. Like she was a tarot reader, herbs, and stuff. Like she would make like a protection
Bag for us.
bags, and did it I do hear dogs.
Okay, what?
Be sure it's not
Mhm.
just
I know when your daughter made a sound here a little while ago, my dog went nuts and started barking.
place I've never been to. I usually like lean in towards like Mother Nature and use a crystal. And like I don't just use any tools. I use that's going to be like my shield, so to speak. So like, and then Betty will usually do her, her prayer, uh, prayer over us for guidance, protection, and whatnot. And then uh, afterwards, we do like, um, what is that? It's not sage. It's a wood. I can't think of it.
Oh,
I'm
Palo
pretty sure
Santo.
Irene knows what I'm talking about. It's not sage. It's can't think of it. It's a little piece of wood, and we light it up, and like we'll just like mist and whatnot, and but yeah, we'll do that as a cleansing afterwards. But
Is there?
lot of times I usually just rely on my Mother Nature and Betty on her religious and nor rely on this. And I also had just recently. I'm pretty sure you guys have been like eyeing my anti-possession tattoo. I got that back in October because they were getting more into the investigating and whatnot, and so I basically just got myself my tattoo to definitely make sure that I'm very well protected one way or another. Like, because if I forget to do, my protection and cleansing, yes, birch. That's exactly what I was trying to get to. Thank you. Um, so yeah, I just added, a little added protection, security by getting the anti-possession tattoo symbol on my hand. Uh, But other than that, uh, we don't really do anything. We don't go really all out on the whole.
And I tell the spirits not to follow us home.
Oh yeah, that's
I said, please
definitely
stay here. Thanks for letting us visit you, and please don't follow us home.
yeah.
I will say that.
Yes, Irene, that's also the other one. Palo Santo, that's exactly the other one that we use too. See, I love these ladies. I love you. Thank you for helping me out with these crystals and sage and wood.
Yeah, I like actually using crystals myself.
But yeah, that's always one thing we do is obviously we're going to respect the spirits.
For
Yeah,
sure.
I've gotten a few crystals that I have myself. Like, I've actually just came across a store that's actually in town, and I've been wanting to. There's actually two of them. There's one in the mall that I go to, and I just haven't really been able to go there to get more crystals because I don't like.
And get Hannah.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, there's one in the mall.
Oh, is there one in mall?
Yeah, there's one in the mall, and then there's one downtown Newark.
Oh, okay.
But like, I don't get just crystals. I get the crystals that are basically calling out to me, because those are the crystals that you're in tune with.
Right.
Like, some people, they just get crystals just to get crystals, but I get crystals that are calling out to me, which obviously means that I'm in tune with it. Like, I'm very in tune with hematite, onyx, and obsidian. Those three crystals are the three that I'm are mainly in tune with. And it's actually funny though, because like my vehicle that I just recently purchased, I actually named him Onyx. But yeah, those are like really, I use crystals especially, you know, like for the protection and stuff like that. And some of them I even use as a worry stone. Like I'll just have a crystal in my hand and I'll just like, you know, just rub it like a worry stone just to keep me calm down and whatnot.
What is one place, because we only got about 4 minutes left, what is one place on your bucket list you'd like to go investigate?
Penhurst.
Waverly Hills.
That's on my list this summer.
Yeah,
Stuff.
Waverly Hills. I mean, there's quite a few of them. Like I basically almost any place with you know, correctionals and asylum, like Penhurst, Waverly Hills, Indiana Sanitarium, Eastern State Penitentiary, and our good old one here in Ohio, Mansfield, Mansfield Inventory, you know, the Ohio State Inventory.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like those are the big places, but also like kind of like the smaller places that people don't usually really talk about. It's kind of like behind the book type deal. But our bucket list is basically like the Waverly Hills, Eastern State Penitentiary, Indiana State Sanitarium, and Penhurst. I think are the ones that are on our top that we really want to go and check out.
Nora.
So, yeah,
What
I got my.
What is your tops?
My tops are, so I got my degree in forensic psychology, my master's, a couple of years ago. And I want to go to Waverly and I want to go to some of the ones that they did a lot more of the experiments on. And I think Betty and I kind of feel the same way. It's like people are calling out and need help. And I just feel like, oh, they need somebody to hear them. And that's kind of something that Betty and I bonded over, I think, is that, you know, we just kind of talk to them and listen. But so far, so good, right, Betty? It hadn't been too bad, but I would definitely like to check that out.
Yep.
So any suggestions, Sean, we would take them as long as they're not $1 million, because some of them are very, very expensive.
Oh yeah, most definitely. The one down in your area is close. The closest I've been there so far is Bell Mansion. Definitely go to Bell Mansion in Ohio or in Indiana. Definitely go there. Me and Pam Harris and Lori Bragg and one of my former teammates and one of the Ghost Sisters, Mandy from the Ghost Sisters. We all went to investigate there, and we had a heck of an experience there. That was very interesting what we had there. So that's definitely a good place to go. Bell Mansion.
Yeah, we've heard of that. We had it on one of our lists. It's down.
The old man.
Is it in Indiana or Illinois, Sean?
It's in Indiana. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
There's
definitely
a lot in Indiana.
Yeah, definitely go check out that Melbourne Manor in Melbourne, Iowa. I just was there with Phantom Pals. That's an interesting place. We had some activity going on there. Not a lot, but we did have some. We're definitely going to go back there this summer for sure. We ran into the guy that was behind the door down there. So,
I'm sorry, my dad just popped up on here and said, I'm not here. That's my dad.
But Melbourne Manor is definitely an interesting place to go to.
And that's Iowa?
Yeah, that's in Melbourne, Iowa. That's definitely a good place. Irene's in Tokyo, Japan.
Oh, wow.
She's got a lot of interesting stuff there.
I was born in Yokohama.
Broadhead Manor in Wisconsin. I've been there several times. I'll be going back there this summer too. That's a great place to go. So those are definitely 3 big places to definitely go check out for sure.
Okay, thank you.
It says you are here, Scott.
Yeah,
But
definitely. we'll add those
Glad
to
to
our
Betty,
list.
I would like to say something to you real quick before we leave. Congratulations on getting through your chemo. I know how hard that stuff is to do, and
Thank you.
I'm sending prayers to you and a lot of healing. It's definitely
Yeah, it was really
that's
hard.
something that definitely touches me and very, very deeply, because I've had two girlfriends that have passed away from stuff like that. But congratulations, and I wish you the best.
Wow.
That because I can tell you're definitely a strong
you so
woman,
much.
and you're definitely going to get through this.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So where can everybody get a hold of you guys if
She-
they'd like to check you out?
Nick, how can they reach us?
Most likely, the easiest way is basically on Facebook.
Yep. Facebook,
On
Facebook
what?
is definitely the best way to reach us to.
TikTok.
TikTok,
Mhm.
Instagram, but the number one,
Place is Facebook.
the number one place to reach out to us is definitely on Facebook.
Yeah.
I believe my phone number is on the page, so I mean, if it is on there, you can definitely reach out to me by my phone number,
Or just message.
call, text. You can
Now,
message
Nick,
me on
tell the
Facebook.
truth.
You can text or
Nick,
call
Nick,
on my phone.
Nick.
It's on there.
you don't
definitely
ever
email.
answer the phone. You
Yeah.
tell them to text. You don't ever answer the phone. Tell them to text.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I never answer. If it's important, then I like I said, I won't answer. But if it's important, they'll leave a message or they'll
Yeah,
call again, and then
exactly.
I might call back and be like, "Yo,
Hey, Nora,
But,
I'm gonna
Yes,
call.
sir.
I'm gonna
But,
call that number one time this week just to see if he does answer the phone.
Never. Good luck.
you go right ahead."
Yeah, he'll answer
He'll
every
let
call
you
this
know.
week.
No, he didn't
I'm gonna say the spirits are calling.
answer.
Right? Thank you for having us. This has been really nice, Sean.
But
Thank
yeah,
you.
you can
Thank you
definitely
for
shoot
coming
me a
on,
message
guys.
on
It's been-
Messenger. Shoot me an email.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's email and Facebook Messenger are actually the two best ways to get a hold of us. Well, hold of me. I'm
Even his
usually-
dad said that's no lie about getting
Well,
him on the phone.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
make it a point.
Even my
just-
dad,
I'm
I
gonna
won't
make it a
even
point
answer
to call
my
him
dad's
sometime
phone
this
calls.
week. We'll see if he answers the phone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it just for fun. man.
I'll put my phone number right here in the chat, right there.
So,
I think I seen it when I was on your page, so
I am
I'll
pretty
do
sure
it
my
sometime
phone
this
number
week.
is on.
I'll do it sometime this
All right.
week just to see if he does answer, just for fun. Give me
All
something to do on break when I'm at work.
Absolutely.
But guys, thank you for coming on, and I'm going to set you
Thank you.
backstage here real quick, and we'll talk a little bit after the show here
Yeah.
real quick. And
I just
I'm gonna
looked. My
close out
phone
the
number
show.
is on the page.
all right, I'm going to drop you backstage
All right.
here real quick. Thanks for coming on,
All
guys.
right, thanks for having us on here, man. It was a pleasure. I had fun.
Well, thank you for coming on. Like I said, I'm going to drop you
Bye.
backstage, and I'll be
Yes,
with you
sir.
here in a minute. Definitely go check out Glick Paranormal Society, and definitely give him a call. See if he'll answer the phone this week too. I make sure I'm not the only one that does it. See if we can get him to start answering the phone, because his dad said that's no lie, and a couple others. So we'll see if we can get him to answer the phone sometime this week. So everybody, thanks for stopping in. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for asking questions. And I greatly appreciate each and every one of you for coming on. And like I said, have a great rest of your weekend. Next week, I had somebody that had dropped out, so I'm going to have somebody rescheduled. And they just got a hold of me here just a second ago. And we're going to see if we can have them on. So stay tuned to find out who we will have on next week. So stay safe. Have a great week. I'm out of here, guys.